Hello, hello. I am so excited to be here today. I was supposed to be here yesterday, and when my kids don't have school, I have a really hard time. Now, I figured I'd just pop on in the car. However, now again, I can see how I can't see if people can see me. I'm gonna have to get over this piece. But if you see this, go ahead and put in a comment or say hi or anything like that, because I can't tell if this is working. Usually it says it's live, but usually what happens is that it will still say that and then yet nothing. Okay, so yes, I am in quite a state because I am popping in here after a workout. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about our body confidence. Last time we talked a little bit about, how puberty can be so unsettling and how that affects us and our body confidence. And so that can really start young. Let's talk about another aspect of this. Like purity culture, religiosity, and how in religious cultures and a lot of our upbringing, we are told that we shouldn't think too much of ourselves, that we should tone it down, that we should, not make it about us. And on some level, I can see a lot of good by being less ego-driven, right? But what has ended up happening is that so many of us believe so deeply that we kind of have to give up on owning who we are in order for the greater good, in order for us to be okay. And hi, Dawn! So the thing about this is that as we grow up, if we're growing up in a culture like that or in a religious sort of upbringing like that, we have to give away our power. We have to sort of give ourselves up, and we can't feel good about ourselves because one, again, if we do feel good about ourselves and we feel good in our body, that might lead us to impure thoughts, or it might lead us into, like a bad place. And so there's this thing, this stigmatism that, is that right? Stigmatism is for your eyes. There's a stigma that, if we think much of ourselves, we're a bad person. I know that was my upbringing. I grew up Catholic. And I really felt like if I thought anything about myself and that was a benefit or good, like somehow I was bad for thinking that. Somehow, if I was thinking that I did something well, or I liked something about myself or about my body, I was bad. So instead, let's reverse that. Let's flip it. Let me just make myself feel fucking miserable so that I can be good, so that I can be pure, so that I can be right, so that I don't, inflate myself. And as we do this, we abandon ourselves. And then we start to hate the very things that we are. We start to, make everything wrong instead of just being allowed to be right. And I think that this is something that for me, for sure, messed with me for years and years, because it not just on the body level, guys, this is like on every level, is that if we just are meek, if we keep our place, if we just, only say too much, then maybe we'll be able to be accepted. Maybe we can even accept ourselves. But instead, it just makes us feel even worse. And then we focus on the negative because we think that by focusing on the negative or by making ourselves wrong, we're adhering to some sort of guidelines, when at the same time we're supposed to be made in many cultures and in many religions, right? We're supposed to be made in God's image. And if God made me, how could it be wrong? How can it be wrong? I'm divine, right? I had to just question this. If we're divine, you are divine. You are beautiful. You are made exactly right. Don't make yourself wrong. Don't make yourself wrong. Don't throw yourself under the bus. Don't get on your case for every little thing. Instead, see yourself as the most divine gift, because that's what you are. You have a precious human life, and you have this meat suit, you know, and we make the meat suit mean more than we need to, but you are allowed to love yourself. You are allowed to feel good in your body. You are allowed to be like, holy shit, I was divinely made. And instead, that's not where it was, right? We were instead in a place where we were made wrong. We were born with in many religions, you know, we were born with some sort of sin that needed to be corrected. We came out and we just needed to be corrected. So is it any wonder that, you know, people went so far with this? We can be controlled if people want to, right? We don't think of it this way, but that's we've been brainwashed to hate ourselves and to follow certain things. And especially as women, it's pretty deep. It's not that it doesn't affect men. It's not that it doesn't affect people who feel differently in their bodies. It does. It affects all of us. And so, like, what if we just said, fuck this. I am not going to follow these patterns anymore. I'm not going to believe the bullshit I used to feed myself, that now I feed myself, right? We were taught this as kids. We've been taught this by culture. You look at the magazines, everything's not real. Now we've got AI. It's getting fucked up, right? The filters are insane. We can't even see our own skin because, oh my God, if I see my own skin, it's like, it doesn't look good, right? I can't even appreciate, because everybody's photos have been photoshopped, right? They've been doctored. And I really just want you to be like, but what if I just opted out of this bullshit and instead I chose to love myself no matter what? Even if I've got wrinkles, even if my hair is turning gray, even if, like, one of my things lately is I realized that my teeth have gotten super yellow and they're also twisting a little bit. And if I was younger, I would be so hyper fixated on it. I notice it. Would I like it to be a little different? Yeah, maybe. But I can still like myself. I can still appreciate myself. I can still look in the mirror and go, you know what? You are divinely made. You are beautiful in your own way. But it didn't used to be like that. Oh, fuck no. I would have just festered. So, I don't know. What do you think? Purity culture, religiosity, you know, how people have kept women from being allowed to be their full self. Like, how has this played a role in your life? And what do you think about saying, I'm opting out of this. Instead, I'm going to be like my full self and I'm going to appreciate it. And it might feel really scary and uncomfortable at first, but it's part of this process. So yes. So that was day 2. That's it. I love you, Dawn. I hope that you're still here. Thank you for watching. Anybody else who joins later and watches this, please, any thoughts you have, drop them below. Say hi. Yeah. All right.